Right now, there's a man somewhere typing his third unanswered text of the day. There's another man planning an expensive dinner for a woman who might show up. And there's a third man lying awake at 2 a.m. wondering what he did wrong because she went cold again. If any of this sounds familiar, then buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you will either save your sanity or shatter everything you thought you knew about attraction. Here's the hard truth. Every minute you spend chasing someone who's lukewarm about you is a minute stolen from building the life that would make you irresistible. Today, we're going to completely rewire how you think about relationships, self-worth, and what it really means to be chosen versus doing the choosing. Look, I get it. Society has sold you a lie that persistence equals love, that fighting for someone proves your worth, that real men never give up. But here's what they don't tell you. There's a massive difference between healthy pursuit and desperate chasing. One builds attraction, the other destroys it. This isn't about becoming cold, calculating, or manipulative. This isn't about playing games or treating women poorly. This is about understanding a fundamental truth that will change your entire dating life. When you stop being available for situations that don't serve you, you become magnetic to situations that do. We're going to break down 7 core principles that separate men who get chosen from men who do the choosing. These aren't pickup tricks or temporary tactics. These are life philosophies that will transform not just your romantic life, but your entire relationship with yourself. Here's where most men crash and burn before they even realize what happened. They turn into one-man entertainment committees, constantly sending funny memes, planning elaborate dates, being available 24/7, bending over backward to prove their worth. Sound familiar? But here's the brutal reality check. If you have to perform to keep someone interested, you're not building a relationship. You're putting on a show. And shows eventually end. Think about the most attractive, confident people you know. Do they exhaust themselves trying to be impressive, or do they simply exist in their own power? There's your answer. A woman who's genuinely attracted to you doesn't need fireworks every conversation. She's drawn to your authentic presence, your unshakable confidence in who you are. When you stop performing and start simply being, you force her to either appreciate the real you or reveal that she was never interested in anything deeper than surface-level entertainment. The most magnetic thing about a man isn't his ability to juggle for approval. It's his ability to be completely comfortable in his own skin without needing external validation. Stop being the dancing monkey. Start being the calm, centered man who knows his worth doesn't depend on anyone else's applause. She goes quiet for 3 days. Your instinct? Panic mode activated. Did I say something wrong? Are you okay? I've been thinking about our last conversation. Stop. Right there. You just killed whatever attraction was left. Here's what separates boys from men. Boys fill uncomfortable silence with desperate explanations. Men understand that silence is a language of strength. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. When she pulls back, gets distant, or starts acting inconsistent, your natural urge is to fix it, explain it, analyze it to death. But here's the counterintuitive truth. The more you explain yourself, the less attractive you become. Why? Because confident men don't beg for clarity. They observe patterns and make decisions based on actions, not words. Match energy, don't exceed it. If she takes 6 hours to reply, you take your time too. If she gives you one-word answers, mirror that energy. This isn't game playing. This is self-respect in action. The psychology is simple. When you stop over-explaining yourself, you force her to either step up her communication or step out of your life entirely. Either outcome serves you. A woman who values you will communicate clearly because she doesn't want to lose you. A woman who doesn't value you will fade away, saving you months or years of confusion and frustration. Remember, confident men create clarity through their actions, not through desperate explanations. Picture this. There are other guys in her DMs. She's got options, and maybe she's not shy about letting you know it. Your first instinct might be to fight harder, be better, prove you're the superior choice. But the moment you enter that competition, you've already lost your most valuable asset, your power. Here's the reframe that changes everything. You're not competing for her attention because you're not a product on her shopping list. You are the exclusive store, and you decide who gets to browse your inventory. When you see other men orbiting around her, don't compete, elevate. While they're fighting for scraps of her attention, you're building an empire. While they're sending desperate late-night texts, you're focusing on your mission, your growth, your purpose. The right woman won't put you in a battle royale for her affection. She'll recognize your value and remove herself from situations that disrespect both of you. If she enjoys having multiple men compete for her attention, let her. Step back and watch the show from a distance. Here's what happens when you refuse to compete. You either earn respect because she realizes you're not playing desperate games, or you dodge a bullet by discovering she enjoys the chaos of multiple suitors. Either way, you win. Think about successful people in any field. Do they compete for scraps or do they create their own opportunities? Your romantic life should operate with the same principle. Build something so valuable that people compete for access to it, not the other way around. She sends you a sweet good morning text, then disappears for 5 days. She's affectionate when you're together but acts like a stranger over the phone. She says she misses you but makes no effort to see you. This is breadcrumbing and you've been feeding the birds. Here's the harsh reality. Every time you respond positively to inconsistent behavior, you're training her that your attention is cheap and your standards are flexible. You're essentially saying, I'll accept whatever leftover energy you're willing to throw my way. But let's flip this script entirely. What if, instead of rewarding inconsistency, you made consistency the price of admission to your life? What if hot and cold behavior was met with cool distance until she proved she could be reliable? This isn't about punishment or playing games. This is about setting standards and sticking to them. A woman who's genuinely interested in you won't leave you guessing about her intentions. She won't make you feel like you're riding an emotional roller coaster, where you never know which version of her you're going to get. Start operating with this mindset. Consistency gets rewarded. Inconsistency gets ignored. When she's present and engaged, match that energy. When she's distant and unpredictable, become unavailable until she proves she can be dependable. The beautiful thing about this approach is that it sorts women into 2 categories: those who step up and meet your standards, and those who reveal they were never serious about you in the first place. Both outcomes serve your highest good. Your attention is your most valuable currency. Stop giving it away for free to people who treat it like monopoly money. This is the game changer, the principle that separates men who attract quality women from men who chase anything that moves. Build a life so compelling, so purpose-driven, so aligned with your values that her presence becomes a bonus, not a necessity. Too many men hit the pause button on their dreams while waiting for her to get serious. They stop working out, neglect their friendships, abandon their hobbies, and put their goals on hold, all while hoping she'll eventually appreciate their devotion. This is backwards thinking that repels quality women. Here's what actually attracts high-value women. A man who's so busy building something meaningful that he doesn't have time to overanalyze text messages or decode mixed signals. A man whose life is so full of purpose, growth, and excitement that adding drama to it seems ridiculous. When you build momentum in your own life, you become attractive by default because motion creates emotion. People are drawn to energy, to passion, to someone who's clearly going somewhere interesting. Your workout routine, your career goals, your friendships, your creative projects, your spiritual growth, none of these should be held hostage by someone else's indecision. These are the foundations of your attractiveness, and they should be non-negotiable. Here's the beautiful irony. The less available you become for relationship drama, the more attractive you become to women who don't create drama. The busier you become building your empire, the more appealing that empire becomes to someone who wants to build alongside you rather than distract you from your mission. I really like you, but I'm just super busy right now. I care about you, but I'm not ready for anything serious. Maybe we can try again later. Sound familiar? Here's your crash course in reality. Words are cheap, but actions never lie. People can say anything. They can craft beautiful explanations, make compelling excuses, and paint pictures of future possibilities. But what they do, how they prioritize their time, where they focus their energy, how they treat you when nobody's watching, that's the only truth that matters. If she wants to be in your life, she'll make space for you. If she values you, she'll make time. If she's genuinely interested, she'll show it through consistent action, not sporadic words followed by long periods of silence. Stop being a detective trying to decode her mixed signals. Stop making excuses for her inconsistent behavior. Start observing patterns instead of analyzing individual incidents. Does she follow through on what she says she'll do? Does she make an effort to see you, or does she always have a reason why she can't? Does she communicate clearly and consistently, or do you constantly feel like you're walking on eggshells? Her actions will tell you everything you need to know about her level of interest, her maturity, and her ability to be in a healthy relationship. Trust what you observe, not what you hope to hear. The most successful men in relationships don't rely on hope and potential. They make decisions based on demonstrated patterns and proven reliability. Let actions be your compass, not promises. When things don't work out, when she chooses someone else, when it becomes clear that she's not as invested as you are, you have two choices. You can go out swinging with emotional texts and desperate explanations, or you can walk away with the quiet dignity of a man who knows his worth. Most men choose the first option. They send paragraphs explaining their feelings, trying to argue their case, attempting to negotiate for a place in her life. This never works, ever. The strongest move isn't noise, it's silence. Quiet distance is powerful because it says, I don't fight for a place where I'm not wanted. I don't beg for space in someone's life. This kind of dignity either earns respect or reveals indifference. But either way, it gives you clarity without compromising your self-respect. So here's where the rubber meets the road. Everything we've talked about today comes down to one fundamental choice. Will you continue being the man who chases, explains, competes, and settles for crumbs? Or will you become the man who chooses himself? Starting today, I want you to audit your current situation. If you're caught up chasing someone who's unsure about you, take a step back. Redirect that energy into one area of your life that you've been neglecting. Hit the gym, work on that project, call an old friend, learn a new skill. Remember this truth. When you stop chasing people who don't choose you, you create space for people who will. But more importantly, you choose yourself. And that choice, the choice to respect yourself enough to walk away from anything less than you deserve, that's where real masculine power lives. Don't chase. Don't beg. Don't compete for scraps. Build a life so incredible that the right person will fight to be part of it. Because you don't want someone you have to convince to stay. You want someone who can't imagine leaving.